Yo, people, it is I, JB per X, and this is the long-awaited part 2 of What If Naofumi was the legendary devil fruit hero. So, this video might be short or might be long, not sure. Um, so I guess we can just start. So, I'm sorry for background noises. And thank y'all for the support on the first part. It already got 220 views, which is pretty high for me. And thank y'all for we're close to 50 subs, only 3 subs more. So thank y'all for that. And let's get started. So I believe I left off. Well, I just rewatched part 1, more like just watched the end of it. So I got a general idea of where this might go. So I'm sure I left off where I said then the heroes they still stay in the kingdom. Well, I got cut off at stay, but I mean stay in the kingdom probably. I'm not sure, and I don't care. It's gonna be kingdom. So yeah. Yeah. So the heroes they stay in the kingdom, you know. The kingdom is around the world, and the kingdom of Novamark, they have been at peace for like a few years now. And yeah, it's pretty good, you know. So then there was a bigger portal than usual, you know. And now he was informed of this, you know. And he called up the heroes and he was like, "Okay, heroes. I got information that there was a bigger portal than usual. So us four and the queen and the king and mine and Melty, we'll go fight them. Is that clear? We'll go find out what happened. Is that clear?" And they all nod, you know. And then they all go to the battlefield, you know. They're just walking menacingly to the battlefield. And they just see a huge portal open, you know. And they see monsters, you know, and they're like, looks like it was a false alarm. Then, you know, they see Adam. And by they're like in a wasteland, so yeah. And then they see the area is like turning into an ocean, you know. And Izuku Naofumi, he makes a floor the queen makes a floor out of ice so that they can stay on it. And they just see a huge beast, a huge fish-looking beast that is coming out of the water, you know. And they're just surprised, you know. And now Fumi too, he's like, "Oh, a sea beast? What is it doing here?" And then now Fumi, his eyes widen, and they're like, "No, don't tell me." They all look at him like, "What is it, Naofumi?" Then Naofumi is like, we're gonna have stronger enemies from now on, so you all better be prepared for this. Do you understand?" Then they all nod and they're like, "Okay, I guess we have to defeat the sea beast." And they see the sea beast has 7.5 million health. So yeah. So where I'm getting this idea from right now, if you want to know, it's from a game on Roblox that recently updated. It's called King Legacy. It's about One Piece. So and I kind of follow One Piece on this one too. So yeah. And now Fumi, he's like, "Okay, people, it looks like this is gonna be a tough battle." Then they all nod and they just start blitzing the thing with attacks, And after a few hours of fighting, they finally killed it. Naofumi used the dragon fruit to do more damage, and the queen he awakened the devil fruit. Well, temporarily awakened the devil fruits of all of them so that they will do more damage. So yeah. Now then, they defeated the Cebius, and they all got a meeting on what Naofumi was saying, and um, Naofumi is like, you see, we're not the only people. We're not the only people with problems, and they're all like, yeah, we know that. And now for me, he's like, no, you don't know what I mean. When I say not only us, it means other worlds. And, they're all shocked. They're like, so you're telling me that there are other planets that have the same problems as us? Now for me, he's like, yes, exactly. And one of them have devil fruits, and they all mastered them. Well, me, I'm not that good at them since I haven't used them a lot. And they sweat drop and they're like, so these strong enemies, what devil fruit exactly do they have? And Naofumi's like, one of them has the light fruit, one of them has the magma fruit, and one of them has the ice fruit. The other one also has the gravity fruit. But this we don't have to worry about him. But one of them has the Buddha fruit, and the other one doesn't have a devil fruit, but he has something called haki, which is the weakness of devil fruit. He's the only one to have it, so we're lucky. Well, he's strong too. His name is Garp. And yes, Garp will be the only one to have haki, because why not? And they'll gulp, and they're like, okay, now for me, do you know when they're gonna come? And now for me shakes his head no, and he's like, no, but we better prepare. Our clones won't be enough. My clones won't be enough for this. And, they're all not. So after a year, nothing still happens, And now for me, it's like, maybe it was a false alarm. And then, four huge portals appear, and from them comes the three admirals, the fleet admiral, and the hero Garp. And now for me, Stretch Hood drops, and he's like, never mind, they're here. And now for me, he puts a huge, and I mean a thick barrier around around them, and it's huge. Well, around the kingdoms and all, so that they don't get they don't get damaged, I guess. And now for me, it's like, okay, guys, this is a fight that we need to all fight together. And they're all nod and they're like, okay, Queen, I'm gonna give you a temporarily awakening so that you can fight Akainu since he has magma and you have ice. And shit. Who? Yeah, no, never mind. Ren, you'll be fighting Akainu. Queen. I don't know who you'll be fighting. I believe I gave him the air fruit. And no, he just says random, random names to random opponents. So yeah. And they all fight vigorously, and I mean vigorously, the queen is Ren is kind of struggling against Akainu, but since water is the weakness of devil fruits, he managed to drown Akainu to death. And for Fujitora, the queen managed to freeze him, and Mine used her gravity to crush him. And for a, uh, what is it? No, not a Kainu. Kuzan. Aokiji. Yeah, Aokiji. Um, he got he got clapped pretty easily by Naofumi and the rest. So yeah, and like Garp was for last, bro. So they just trapped him in the barrier until then. So they clapped um the fleet admiral bro. Why do I forget names, bro? Sengoku. And because he was a huge target, and they just focused all their attacks on him. Pretty easy target, if you tell me. So yeah, and then they were all um going to get Garp finally, and after like making you know having doing some tricks on him, like they managed to murder Garp. Yeah, and after that, they had to recover for a year again. I know I'm making years, but now they had to recover from 5 months. Yeah, that's way better. 5 months, and um, um, now for me, he was like, okay, well, see, I managed to find a fruit that can help me travel to other worlds, and well, I I want you all to well, at least I want you heroes, the rest of the heroes to come with me. King and Queen, you can stay here and protect this world while I'm gone. And if you need me, just call me, okay? Then call you with what? The Queen says. Then Naofumi gives them a phone, and they're like, "What is this?" And Naofumi just touches both of their foreheads, and they both get memories on how to use a phone. And Naofumi has a phone, and Itsuki and whatever. And yeah, so yeah. And now for me, he goes with the heroes, and he travels to the world of well, I guess MHE world, cause why not? And all people see um is and by the way this is more manga, I guess. So I'm basically off one is Shigaraki, and Deku's about to die, and now now for me he just comes in and he murders. Well, not really, but he let's be honest here, bro. He negs literally. He claps Shigaraki along with the heroes, and then they just kill him. And it was broadcasted live too. So yeah, and they're like, who are these mysterious people? And then now for me, he just waves, and he's like, we're not of any danger, people. We just found that I just found that I can travel through worlds, and I saved my world from calamities, and I just saved yours, so you should be happy. And he goes up to Izuku, and Izuku's about to attack him, but he remembers what he said, and he lets his guard down, and now Fumi heals him, and he's like, so before I go, was there any previous heroes or anyone you want to revive before I go? And Izuku is like, he just says, well, my class died, and my mom and the previous number one hero who was my mentor, oh my, died too. And he's like, oh, what a tough life. And then people, they just see Naofumi lifting his hands up, and they just see All Might appear, and a woman that resembles Izuku, so they assume it's her mother. And they just see all of Class 1A just reappear, and um, you know, um, he rewinds All Might back to his youth days, and he does that with the top heroes too, so that the world can be at peace. And he's Naofumi is like, well, people, I am Naofumi, and you might be seeing me again, but until then, bye for now. And he just goes, he opens the portal again, and he goes, you know, and yeah. Then Izuku he travels to the Naruto world. Yes, sir. And he sees that um Konoha, well, the ninja world, they're getting bodied by Madara, literally. And now, and people, they just see a portal open up, and oh, and by the way, they have an engaged battle, but the meteor is about to hit, and Naruto, they just see that the meteor cuts in half and explodes, and they just see four people coming down, and they're like, and the five Kages, they're like, who are you people? And they're like, oh, we're heroes. We're not from this world. We have come from a different dimension to help you all fight Uchiha Madara. And yes, Madara, he has the Bijou behind him, and also, and not Bijou, all the tailed beasts behind him. So, they were pretty fucked. And they were want to engage battle, but they know they will be fucked. And, they're like, really? And, now for me, it gives them a reassuring nod. Oh, and by the way, if I didn't mention it, now for me, he gave All Might and Izuku strength fruit, which gives them a super boost in their abilities. So yeah, then he's like, well, Uchiha Madara, looks like I need to murder you with my heroes, huh? Uh, looks like us heroes have to murder you, huh? And now for me, he's like, so wanna play a thing or directly murder him? And the heroes are like, how about we just murder him? And now for me, he just transforms into a giant dragon. And the spear hero, he just dashes at the man with a fire. And they'll just do a combo attack. And they just clap Madara. And they seal back the things into the original Jinchurikis. And now for me, he sees all the damage that has already happened, And he's like, well, we're about to go, but we wanna, since we like helping people, would you like us to revive anyone or repair any damages? And Tsunade, she listens to this, she's like, can you revive my husband? And Naofu was like, oh, sure thing. He just revives Tsunade's husband, and she hugs him and kisses him, and she's so happy, and she thanks Naruto. And Gara, he's like, well, I just want you to pacify the One Tails for me. I want him to be my friend. And Naofumi is like, sure thing. And he just seals the One Tails, and he makes the One Tails have happy memories with Gara, and he does the same with Gara. And he's like, well, how about this? Then he unseals all the tailed beasts, and he's like, I don't like seeing animals caged. So, all of you tailed beasts, you can roam around free. I will put a barrier around you, so that humans like them, just so that mere humans, like you call them, won't be able to seal you. But you have to promise me one thing, all of you. And they're all listening carefully. They're like, you will promise that you will never cause destruction again. And plus, the ninjutsus don't work on you, so you will be fine. And they're all the tailbeasts, they nod, and they thank Izuku, and and yeah, and he basically repairs and revives all the fallen ninjas, like all of them, they're good. And he says, I'm gonna revive your Okages, Mizukages, and Tsuchikages, Raikages, Kazekages. I'm gonna revive all of them. And you're gonna protect your villages together. Do you understand me? And no, they all not. And he basically revives Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, um, Minato, and yeah. And he just gives Kakashi two Mangekyo Sharingans. And yeah. Yes. And then yeah, he just does that a lot. He just saves people from different dimensions, all the animes you like except his own, So yeah. And then Naruto, Naofumi, he's like, oh well, looks like it's time to go home. And he just goes back, and he just appears, and he sees that, it's been quite a while he's been there, he's been doing this for a few years, so yeah. And he just goes back to his party, he visits Raphtalia, he sees that she's doing well and all. And he just, goes to the capital, and he greets everyone, and everyone greets him. And just walks to the royal castle, And, the king and the queen, they're like, oh, now Fumi and the heroes, you're all back. Oh, how was your trip? And, they're like, oh, we saved a lot of worlds. At least 1,000 or 100,000 or more. And they're all shocked. They're like, whoa, you guys are really good people, huh? And, they're like, don't mention it. And, they're like, well, I've seen that the technology has progressed very slowly, I must say. And now Fui just snaps his fingers. And he just gives people technology. And when I say technology, I mean nanotechnology. So everything looks normal, but it's not. It's technology. And yeah. And the king is like, you have done it again, Devil Fruit Hero. You have made our kingdom more advanced. Would you want to do that for the rest of the kingdoms too? Alfie's like, why not? This world progressing will be a good thing anyway. Plus, you might even be able to defeat all the monsters yourself without using any magic or anything. And now for me, he pulls out a target and he just creates because he has nanotechnology, so he just creates I believe it's called a ray gun, whatever, and he just shoots, and they just see a red trail, and he just explodes as soon as it touches the dummy. So the king is like, new weapons, huh? And Naofumi like, well, I'm gonna make them so that they can't. There will be a police. Police is basically people that ensure the security of people so that they don't abuse their power. And King is like, can't you just take some of my army to do that? And they're like, okay then. And he basically takes part of the king's army and he teaches them Haki. He gives them Haki, and yeah, they don't have observation. They only have Geppo, Soru. If you don't know Geppo, it's basically like you can basically walk. Well, it's basically when you kick 10 times the air and you can just I guess jump on the air. Soru is basically you can go at high speeds and it looks like you teleport. And they also have a basic armament Haki because advanced will be too much. And they also have observation Haki. And they're just called the elite security squad. And the people Naofumi just announced that what happened, and people were like they didn't get worried after Naofumi told them all that, and they're happy that they will be safer, so yeah. and he gave each of the members of the squad, the security squad, and he gave them basically like as soon as a crime is about to happen, it gives them location and what crime it is. And it tells them the appropriate judgments that they're supposed to do. So yeah, and yeah, and now for me, he has been making the world progress, and the waves are no more. Literally, he replaced the sky after a few years. He literally replaced the whole sky. Like it was black, but then it came blue back again after a few years, So he literally replaced the sky where the waves are supposed to appear. So yeah, then one day, one huge, like, that covers a lot of terrain, like almost as big as a country, portal appears, and they just see a huge person. I'm not even joking, but it's a huge person. Just come out of all the heroes, like, they just come out and they just hit the person, whoever it was, and they go in the portal with them, and they see just that they're in space basically, and they just see a huge person, and that person is the creator of the waves, who is the god of entertainment, who will basically do anything for entertainment. And then now for me, it's like, and the hero's like, who are you, and what are you doing here? I thought we got rid of the waves. I don't know. The person who they don't know yet, he last and says, mere humans. I am the god of entertainment. I am the one who will do anything for entertainment. And I am the creator of these waves. Ha ha ha. I was planning to collect this world, but then I just sent a force coming from there. So I thought, go check it out myself. Turns out you mere humans have evolved, huh? And Naofumi and the heroes, they're mad, because how can a person be so cruel? So yeah. Then Naofumi and the heroes are like, enough, whoever you are. We will kill you for all the things that you've done to this world and other worlds, and we will free them. How can you even call yourself a god? You're more like a devil. And the god of entertainment is mad. So he just spams attacks on them. And they well, now Fumi just goes in front of them and shields them, and then his armor gets pierced, and he just gets pierced, and then he just well, I guess well, yeah. So he basically goes in his mindscape, and he sees all the people and all the devil fruits, and he's like, he just hears awaken in his head, and he's like, yes, I must awaken all the devil fruits. Then all the heroes, they think Naofumi died, and they're sad and angry. They're about to attack. They get body easily, and they think they died, and they fail as heroes, and they close their eyes waiting to die, and then they just open them and just see Naofumi. And Naofumi is like, friends, we are called heroes for something. We cannot die this easily. And Naofumi just says, "Awaken!" And all they hear is they feel a surge of power going through them. And they just stand up and you're like, "Naofumi, you have unlocked new powers, didn't you?" And Naofumi says, "No, I didn't. I just awakened them. And now we must end this fight with the ultimate armor." And the heroes are like, "Ultimate armor?" And Naofumi just said, "Touch my shoulders, heroes. We will kill this individual." And they all look at the person with hatred in their eyes and like, "Yes, sir. Yes, Naofumi, we will." And they all touch his shoulder. And then there's a giant armor that just says double fruit on his chest appears, and with a cape too. I know it's basically a reference to a Gurren Lagann. If you don't know the anime that's on you can just search it up. It's just super cool. So yeah, and by the way, their fight is in outer space. There's no planets nearby, so they can go all out. Basically, just a separate universe. A huge battlefield, basically. And then they just equip this huge armor, and Naofumi just says, "Let's go!" They all charge in, and the creator charges in too, and he just says, "Ah!" They both clash. Naofumi overpowers. Naofumi and the heroes, they overpower the creator, and they finally go and murder him and kill him for all the sins that he's done. And they're all super tired, and they're on the verge of death. And Naofumi's like, "Oh no, we're not dying like this." And he basically summons, it just creates a devil fruit, and he eats it, and he heals all of them up. Then they go back to the portal. Like, people were worried as fuck, even the queen and the king, because it's been like a few days, since they came by. So yeah, and they just see the portal opening again. They think they're doomed, and they just see the four heroes coming out of it, and they're relieved. And the queen, she just goes and says, "Oh, heroes, you're fine." And the king says that too. He's like, "Oh, great heroes, you're fine. Thank God. We thought we were worried for you all." And they're like, "Don't worry about us." After a lot of fighting, we finally defeated him. And they all say, "Him?" And he's like, and they're all like, "The creator, the one who created the waves, the one who will do anything to entertain himself, the god of entertainment. We killed him finally." And they're all shocked, like, "You killed the god? And you mean you killed the creator of waves?" And they're all nodding, and they're like, and then they just thank them a lot, because now they they really don't have to worry about the waves anymore. And then we time skip a lot of time later. Now Fumen and Waftai got together. Mine Motoyasu, that girl that was excluded in canon. She married Ren. Itsuki, I mean, and Ren, he married like Philo, because Naofumi allowed it. So, and yeah, she was grown. She's not. No, she's not. Oh, I don't like what you're thinking right now, bro. Oh, she's grown. Oh, what was you thinking, bro? Damn. They're married and they have kids. All of them have one kid, and they're all boys. Sadly, not sadly. It's a good thing. Then like, "Your Highness, looks like we have to pass our powers to the next generations." And King Hinata, he's like, "It was good seeing you, Devil Fruit Hero." And Naofumi's like, "Oh no, you're not dying." "And we're not dying either. I just said we're passing our powers to others. I never said we're dying. I can even make us immortal, and that will be good." even if the planet gets overpopulated, I'll just create another one for us. And he has tears in his eyes. He says, "Thank you so much, Devil Fruit Hero, for making me realize my mistake, and for still forgiving me for what I did, even though I did some bad things to you." And he just says, "It's fine, Your Highness." And he basically passes the throne to his whoever was next, I guess. Then yeah. Then I'm gonna stop it here. It's 30 minutes. 36 minutes. And now I want y'all to decide. Do you want Naofumi, the four cardinal heroes, next generations? Yes or no? And I mean, you really want to comment on this video, like you actually want to do that, because this series was pretty good, and I don't really want it to end. So, no, but I really want y'all opinion. Should I change and make it so that Naofumi still stays the MC and all, or should I pass down? Fuck. No. Yo, people, sorry about that. The recording just cut. So I'm sorry about that. Yes, I wanted to know, basically, if y'all want me to do a next generations or keep Naofumi as the MC and somehow change it so that Naofumi still says the MC and youthful and all. So y'all decide, or I can just delete the kills and all, and you can forget about it. So, yep. Thank you all for that, and peace out.